Hello and welcome to No Access Required. We've got a slightly different setup during the festive period. I quite like it. It's all very cosy. So, Bungie released a Vidoc of Marathon.
Players want more challenge. The whole point of an extraction shooter is that you're challenged to even survive in this world.
We heard loud and clear from the alpha. The world didn't feel dangerous. The world didn't feel lived in.
Tau Ceti 4 to us is this place that really doesn't want you there. And that sort of survival narrative really fits really well with the kind of world that we're creating.
The world needs to feel like there is something sinister underneath the surface, even when the colors are really bright.
You should not be here.
We want to marry the classic Bungie game feel, where you are blasting stuff in the face and it feels amazing, with the sort of high tension of the survival genre.
If you want good loot, you have to go to places where you're taking risks, either risks from other players or risks from AI.
So we have all these tools now, Rook with Prox Chat and the way the game works and sort of how tense it is. I think all those things work together really well.
You have another Rook. Oh, stop that. No. Sorry.
Now, this goes on for another 20 odd minutes. And I have watched it. I did watch it. Watched it yesterday when it came out. And I've been banging on about how Bungie shouldn't let Marathon die. That Marathon was a project worth saving. It released its alpha and, frankly, missed the mark. There were too many questions being asked by people watching, including myself, which made it feel inauthentic, which made it feel a little bit meh. Despite the incredible art style, despite the fact that it had this signature gameplay first-person shooter magic, it still felt a little off. And that's the kind of thing that's hard to put your finger on. That's the kind of thing that makes you pause. It gives you cause for concern. And that's where we found ourselves. The community was looking at Marathon and thinking, it's not quite right. And there were great channels, Skiller, The Angry Joe Show, Yong Ye, amongst many, many others, all saying the same thing. Effectively, what the fuck? When something doesn't land right, it's not a question of knowing, it's a question of instinct. It's a question of feel. And Marathon, when we were watching it, didn't give us any of the feels. Various community members, interested parties, let their feelings be known, and rightly so. After the debacle that was it Concord? Oh, goodness. In making the acquisition, Sony felt that it had its live service dreams all panned out for the next 10 years, but that didn't happen. And Marathon came along, not at the wrong time, but at exactly the right time to be saved. They say that it takes a series of unusual circumstances to come together to make something extraordinary, and I think that's exactly what we're looking at. Marathon, another 2 or 3 years earlier, would not have been saved. But now, with Sony not willing to let another huge IP die in the dirt, wants to see a return on its investment. And now is the right time. Marathon, at its core, is, I think, a great game. I think it has the potential to be the new big thing. Will it be the head honcho? Time will tell. Will it displace the likes of Fortnite? No. The markets, I think, are different. But what does it have? As I said, it has that Bungie magic. It has that instant game appeal. It looks great. And you could see from the very little we saw here that they have changed the environments. And if you haven't seen it, I do encourage you to go over. They have changed quite a bit. There's not so much of the disposable pop art ethos, aesthetic, which is replaced now by a much more palatable environment. One that makes you feel as though you're somewhere that could be real. The marathon story, as we understand it, will be revealed to us through various drops and pickups in the live service game, which is an interesting take. But lore is, frankly, I think, for quite a niche group of people within the gaming community. Not everybody wants to pore painstakingly over every detail, which is why I watch Aztec Cross and other channels. They do the legwork for me, frankly. I can see rather uniquely in the future gaming, live service games specifically, turning into subscription models, thereby effectively doing away with monetization. But that's not going to happen. A company won't introduce a subscription model and just throw away the other monetization. It will do both, because it can. That's the world we live in. When monetization is introduced into the gaming sphere, things no longer are as they should be. Other concerns take priority. It's an inescapable truth. It only becomes magical, it only becomes acceptable when somehow these stars align. Fortnite, Call of Duty. But even they have their problems, even they have their critics. Regardless of all of this, Marathon is a body worth resuscitating. It deserves a second chance at life. And I, for one, based on what others say, will give it a go. Because history's shown me that Bungie, even with all their faults, can still deliver that first-person shooter magic. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe, and share if you'd like to. It really does help the channel and keep us relevant for the algorithm. And until next time, bye-bye.